so I can have this. I want to go over our last game that we played. It was a crazy game. I want to just look at the stats here while it's uploading. So, as you can see right here, the weird team comp of our team comp was relatively normal, you know. My mid laner Leon was really playing he was playing a Vayne mid lane, kind of a weird start. And my mid laner, Triton, not my mid laner, my jungler Triton, really was having he had a computer issue starting off. I think we all ended up having a computer issue at some point to end that game. It was a really odd game, but we won. We really can't complain about that. We didn't have, it was a lot. There was a lot of kills. As you see here, they got more dragons. We just got Infernal Drake late, and we ended up getting the. And it really helped us get Elder because we didn't have 3 dragons, which made it a lot harder for them. They got. I mean, look at that. They got an Infernal Drake and 2. I just want to sit here and analyze this game for whoever, especially for myself, and I'm going to show this to my team too, and what I think on what's happening. So yeah, let's just jump right into it, and let's get to it. As everyone starts up. Okay, so right off the bat, what we're seeing here, the Morgana took a Spell Thieves, as did the LeBlanc. And we're going to be seeing a LeBlanc support with a Morgana mid lane, which is very unique to me. And they've got an Akali going top. So what I'm seeing from this is they don't really have a tank. What that means is earlier in the game, they're going to be, I think that's really going to help them because Tom Kench and Rammus both get tanky, but it takes a little time to get them tanky. So if they can get ahead early, their mid game is going to be a lot stronger, in my opinion, because it's a lot easier to get power than it is to get super tanky. It takes less gold, and it's more scaling. That really helps. Also, I want to say the Akali built her boots and 4 health pots, while our Teemo went Doran's Ring and 2. So they're going to be a little more, they're going to survive a little bit more, maybe. But if our Teemo can get ahead and use that AP advantage, that's really going to help. Now, I'm going to back up here just a little bit. Can I jump back like just 15 seconds? We can, okay. So, right now, what I want to be watching here is to get this. And they're all a little bit lower at health. So my Vayne, my Vayne is just getting the lane now. And already is getting out farm 3-1. And Yi has the red buff. He has our red buff. Now, Jedi Girl here, playing a little far up. For especially not having vision. I know she was just trying to get this farm. However, as we see here, she has little vision here. Very little. She has that. And I want to see what that gives us as far as... Yeah, she sees none of them. Until there's Yi. Okay. And she should by that time already be going back. They are pinging for her. As we see here. They're coming for her. There's LeBlanc. There's Yi. He's already level 2. And her farm is currently 1. So out of all that, she only has 1 farm. And thankfully, Timo did a good job on farming here. He recognized that Akali's down here. Sorry about that. And so what he did best, he made sure to get this farm. He made sure to push this up. That's going to deny her. That is going to deny her plenty of farm that, she's not going to be able to get. She got 2 assists, sure. But doing something like that, you have to be able to drain as much resources from her as you can. And he did a really good job here of pushing this up. And so she's missing all that farm. Look how much farm she's missing. She's probably going to miss this entire wave. So that's really good. And he had to go back to blue. That was, just something you have to do there because he lost his red. He knows that. He saw he was about to die and got out of there. He knew there was 4 people here. He went to blue. That's a very smart idea. So the only issue so far besides that invade is right here. Uses of flash. Now, I think if this Tristana would have not gone for this wave and instead attacked, because I don't know, let me see what this Tristana took first. She took her, she took her E, which is exactly what she needs to be taken. That's an explosive charge onto her. That's a lot more damage. That's a lot more poke, and that could hurt these minions if she's flashed like that. And she's probably going to get a couple more, auto attacks off. That's plenty of damage. So, in all reality, Miss Fortune here is lucky that she took just that little bit of poke. And she even had to flash. And in the meantime, I'm all the way back here. And right there was a big issue. Our jungler almost had it, and he disconnected. So he literally did all that work, lost his red buff, had to go over to blue, almost got blue, and then disconnected. That was a huge issue that it took us a while. I just want you to look, I don't know if you can see it down here, the little lines that show like all the deaths and stuff. We didn't get a death until like a kill until like 6 minutes in. And what it cost, to get that far was just a lot because they really cut us off and denied, and he got so much, just was so far ahead because they stole our red, came over, and they made some really good moves. And as we see, we're getting this, farming up, use our relic shield here. Our Misfortune, okay, played a little poke here. Got put with that. What she needs to be doing is getting this farm down. Okay. She played a really good job there. Thankfully, I haven't finished my thing. I think I'm going to end up bronze just because, my placements aren't going so well. I'm not too worried about them. I'm really worried about, our rank 5 right now. We're going to start those up here soon. But So yeah, we're all level 1. So this Tristana, because she has those 2 assists, only has to do 3 CS in order to stay up. And she's already, you know, we're even on CS right now. Thankfully, I had my Relic Shield to get those 2 for her. So she's technically, like, as far as, you know, 6 right now with the gold. I'm going to focus on bottom lane here for a bit, and then I'm going to rewind it, go back to, you know, I'm going to talk about each lane. See right here, level 2 and level 3, I'm level 1 still. Because I got killed, came back late, I'm not getting a lot of that experience. That was smart of me. Get the cannon with my shield. So now we're even on levels. We're about even on farm. Except, you know, she's not taking spell thieves. I mean, she took spell thieves and not, Okay, so make her jump out. And so make sure she's farming. That's really good. She's getting that farm a little better. He just came back. He was gonna make me check for his red, see if it was up. But we kind of just should have suspected that they took it, but we weren't quite sure. Okay, pop that. And I'm so low on health right now, and I don't think I have any more charge now. I don't have any more charges on that, so I'm really playing it dangerous. And what we should have done, I think she did a good job of this. She came up a little far there, but just to stay back and farm, she did a good job with that. I'm really just trying to help her farm. Okay. So even on levels here. The Tristana's down a little bit. But LeBlanc has that stun that's really going to help her in this. Because she's so, you know, up, she can play a little more aggressive in here. And the Tristana knows that. And since they pushed this up to our turret, and, you know, she's kind of noticed our Misfortune isn't doing the greatest job of farming. Which, you know, that's understood. It takes time to get used to that farming. However, they played a really good job here of just keeping the aggression up. So see what happens is they both get in this bush. She's playing right there. She's just waiting. She's like, if someone oversteps, that's what's going to happen. So she sees she uses that. Sees me coming up. I wasn't thinking about rocket jump there at all. They jump on me. Understood, you know. Really, I should have thought, you know, we knew she was there. I played that way too aggressive. You know, pushed up a little far. I wasn't thinking of rocket jump. I wasn't thinking. So she dives. She dives like crazy. She gets low. They both know that. They're both low. And our Misfortune has a ton. I mean a ton of health. Like, really well. I think she could have played a little more aggressive, personally. But they both back here. At least they should. Yep, they're both back. She does a good job of clearing this. And that's about... I think she backs here, too. No, I told her to stay with me. I remember this. We weren't sure where they were. Okay. She's farming up. Okay, I want to go back here. So we saw how the early game started off for our bot lane. But there's a lot more going on. I would say that was probably one of the least I wouldn't say interesting, but like the least eventful lanes. There's a lot that happened in the other lanes that I want to really go over. So we're going to come back to right about here. We're going to go over to look on mid lane here, okay? I'm going to go back another 15 seconds. Okay. So here we are. Holly comes up. She has to go top lane. That's understood. So we're both looking at mid lane here. Right now it's a 3-2. That's right when that happened. Both seem to be doing a decent job of farming.
And a way to give her a box of chocolate on Valentine's Day. Turn it up this Valentine's Day with Levion chocolate diamond.
I would say
you'll find more exclusive Levion
mid lane, you know, Vane's big issue here is he's really overextending. I want to go back. I want to watch what happens here because he loses a trade huge here. Okay.
Some exclusions apply. See jared.com for details.
That's funny. Levels up. Because she has an assist. The Vayne died early. That's what happens, you know. Right here. Here's his minions. Here is their minions. Now, I want you to look. Caster, both shooting him. She's going to be attacking him. Now look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minions attacking him. So, he lost a lot of health here because of that. Look, they're just taking him down to health. He's down to half health now. He lost this trade not because of necessarily Morgana's play here. He got a little overextended, and the minions took him down. What he needs to be looking at is playing a, you know, he's down already. He's already down. He doesn't need to be poking in their minion wave. He needs to be playing patient, farming up. If the Morgana doesn't quite have as much range, unless she uses her abilities, in which case he can hide behind these minions. He has these minions here. That's what they're for. They're there to take the attack from you. They're to give, you know, that's what they do. They are there to pretty much tank the opponent's hits for you. You want to try to deny them, but when you're behind, you need to be focusing on getting ahead by farming. All you need to be doing is playing a patient farming game. Play it patient. And so what happens, put it back here, is, okay, right here, he hits her. Now, this minion is about to die. And so instantly, 1, 2, 3 minions turn. That's another instance of him he tries to poke. And it doesn't work because he just overextends just a little bit. Not even a little, I would say it's a lot, honestly. So we're jumping back here. They're both level 3. Now, what he needs to be looking at is, here comes his wave, okay? So he has his wave coming up, which means she also has a wave coming up. So right now, it looks like it's an okay time to poke, right? You know, there's only 3 minions there. But if you paid attention, there's another entire wave coming. So right here, here's his wave all the way back here that need to be blocking for him. You know, it looks like she's in a bad spot too. However, she is at a safe distance that she is still behind these 2 minions at least. She has 2 minions that are going to turn on him that he can't do anything about because he's way overextended. So what happens here is he shoots. Auto attack right there. This minion already comes. He shoots again. Now look how many minions are here that they're not even going to attack her. Because a lot of the damage he took was because look how many minions are on him. Especially these caster minions. These caster minions at this early level especially are doing so much damage. So she uses the pool. And at that point, look how it is. Because all these caster minions are so far from where she is. But look where her caster minions are. They are right there on him. He is taking so much damage. And instead of backing off, he just keeps at it. If he would have even backed there, he probably would have lived. He could have continued to farm. But he tries too hard. And she comes up. One hit. Okay, she takes a couple caster minion hits. You know, she's a little low as well. But because just how many minion shots he took compared to her, it may, you know, he may have outplayed her, but the positioning of those minions are what really got him. So watching that wave control, watching where the minions are and playing off of that is a key point of an early farm, you know, an early lane. Because especially at a low level, you're going to be squishy. You're going to be extremely squishy. And while, you know, she's going to be weak too, these guys right here, these minions, are just as strong as they're always going to be. So they're, enough of them, that's going to be some good power. Okay, so what she's doing well here is she's playing back. She's playing, you know, she's playing with her minions. She's not, you know, she's not like farming up here, you know. She's staying back. She's getting this, you know, the farm when she can. Her CS definitely could be better, you know. But at least she's playing with the minions. And look how much health she's up to again. She's back up to half health. That's going to deny quite a few ganks because, you know, she's going to have time to get back. And, okay, here he goes again. Here he goes again. Look how much she took. She didn't touch him. That was the minions. I know that doesn't look like much, but enough times of that, and it's going to happen, you know? So right here, he's playing decent. We know that he's top side, so he's playing, you know, I like how he's playing here. That was okay. Playing a little bit up from where I would be playing. I would just be playing back, getting that farm, you know. But, here's Rammus. And right there, that's good. Now, he needs to not be there. I would say you have that pushed up. Look for another proactive thing to do. Look, he just auto-attacked. He got nothing out of that, really. And he got shot by a turret. him. Loses. He just lost in a huge wave. And because she knows that he's only level 2, she doesn't have to go back. Until she sees this vein, she can just stay and hit that. And look, he just lost a huge wave. I mean, that was... I want to go back and count that. I want you to see just how many. Because he went for that, I'm going to go back even further. We got to go back further for this, I guess. Okay, 1. A lot of the issues I've noticed are in this early laning. That is why, if you can win that early laning, snowballing becomes so easy with the right, calls. But when you're behind, it becomes a lot harder. You have to, play a lot more patient, and it takes a lot longer to win this game. I think has she bought yet? She hasn't had to. She hasn't even gone back yet. Just, okay, look. Nobody's there except for minions. Look how much damage he just took. See, she plays smart. She knows she can't do much here, so she goes back. She's not chasing or, this was a little dumb. Because of the minion wave. And look, she overextended this time. And that's what happened. She gets poked down. Yee's there, thankful for her. Let's see what he does. So he knows she's there. And he comes down, that's fine and dandy. So I don't want to say that this Morgana was good, because she wasn't necessarily good. There was a lot of missing from her. They're just... She played it safer. She played a lot safer. Just because she's up, she's not tanking all these minions and stuff. That's a big thing of surviving. That's why there's Chegg Study, which helps you learn tough problems one step at a time. Here comes LeBlanc. And see, even though that didn't work, they don't chase under a turret. They're not chasing anything. And they back. See, that's really smart. So, at that point, what I would have to give advice, in the early game, I'm just, going over early games for everyone right now. And we're already, what, how far are we into this? We've been recording for 40 minutes now, and I've only gone how many minutes into this game? 10 minutes into this game on just mid lane, and just a little bit, you know, of the bot lane, but what I would have to give advice to on this is just don't play so aggressive. Our early game is not about getting kills. It is about getting gold. And how do you get gold is mostly by minions. What is it? I think, you know, there's a stat out there. Every kill is only worth 15 minions, I think it is. I think that's what it comes to. Correct me, you know, if I'm wrong, you know, I'm wrong. But that's about it. So, that's about a wave and a half. Okay, if you farm a wave and a half, 2 waves. Let me count. I'm not the smartest at this. So there's 7. If he would have played the patient and gotten, he probably would have had more farm. You know, even though she would have too, she wouldn't have had these kills. And you need to be taking, the only trades you really can take in that situation are these guaranteed ones that you will win. And by playing so far ahead into these waves, you're not going to win. There's very little chance because minions do a lot of damage early. So, I went a third of the way into this game. Just in that, I can just say that. And he's died, you know, he's 0-4 right now. But that really sucks. That's a really bad way. What she's doing, but she's not farming. And that gives it, look, he's a level ahead. And because he's, okay, look, she dives. Look what these minions were doing. These minions, unless, you know, besides the fact she went invisible, she's losing a bunch of minions. She hasn't gotten a single farm yet. He puts him at a level advantage. I think he could have played a little back. He didn't. His big issue, there's no vision. None. There is no vision on this jungle. And so all the E does is come this way, realizes he's still there. He didn't go back before it, because of it, and so they collapse. So And where's Master Yi at? We don't know. Okay. So we know he's probably taken these already. You would have to know because he came down here. You know you have a little bit of time. He's going to come up this way and get that too. But okay, see what she did right there? She came up. She would not be doing that if she didn't know you was there. That's one indicator. But that is unacceptable to have no vision whatsoever placed. None. He needs to be watching his minimap because he would have had vision on them up until they went into those bushes. He would know they were in there going in those bushes. And just his way of the one pushing up. Even if there was, if they were backing there, you wait a couple seconds and then you go back up. So he TP's back in. Kali does that. I think it's good. At first could have been a good idea. Now I want you to realize she still hasn't been farming. Good reason. He's definitely fed up. He's got skirmishers now. He's got a dagger and he's got his boots. That's a good first back. He's up to 21 farm in 5 minutes, which I know that's not a lot, but it's a lot better than the 7 the Akali has. Like, come on. No offense to the Akali, but come on. Farm. Farm wins you games. She really could have stayed back. That Yi could have just gotten the kill. And now she's 0-1 and 4. She is definitely, she's got 4 assists. For her not farming, she's staying in because of that. Because this Yi is taking advantage of just how far up he is playing. There's no vision. I still haven't seen him use a ward yet. You know? Okay, look, and now look. His TP was down. He's just now getting here. And there we go. Control Ward. That's what I like to see. That's what I'm talking about. You get some vision going. But make sure you're using those trinkets too. Especially very early in the game. I'm not worried about that. We're going to focus here. So that definitely helped him. Look at the size of this wave he's gonna push, and he knows that Did she even take teleport? Yeah, she did. She's already used it though. He knows that. He saw her use it. Thankfully, I think he gets out of this. Good for him. Good for the Yi for not over chasing that. Just make him go back. Alright. Now we're going to go back to right about... Where are we at? We watched this already, but we're going to, just go from one. Still.
At the shoulders. I mean, nipples is cut out though. You know, so my body is real oiled up right now. What? What the? Oh my God! No, he's dead. Oh my God! It's real up dog. Yo, get out the robot.
That's how we do it. You would.
Sarah's studying for her engineering rate of confusion increases 2 desperate
Okay.
whimpers per minute, and the diameter of the pizza she's currently stress eating.
Follow that up.
How long will she hyperventilate before she considers?
We could have got a little more damage on this turret had she followed up. But that's understandable, though. I like that she's playing safe. I'm never going to complain about for a safe player.
Step-by-step solutions for millions of textbook questions. Don't get stressed. Get Chegg Study. Go to Chegg.
Okay, that goes off. That definitely helps her. Gets her out of there.
A smarter way to student.
Have you ever worked at a place where they didn't want you talking about your salary? Actually, have you ever worked anywhere where they did? Unlikely. But don't you have
What, the dragon?
know? If only there were a simple solution. Well, now there is.
How we find jobs has changed. On Indeed.com, our company reviews give you the inside track on thousands of companies. You can research salaries, benefits, company cultures, and more. All on Indeed.com. Search for greatness. Search Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Indeed is the world's #1 job site.
They're definitely doing a good job of poking. Ooh. I don't want to say Jedi Girl's doing a great job. She's playing back. She's at this point, besides Triton, who was disconnected for half of it, she's really the only one that hasn't died yet. First dragon's been taken. So there's our early game. I want to look right there. Those are the stats that we're going to be looking at early game. So we're down 9-2. They have a 3,000 gold lead. Going 10 minutes. He's about to get that kill. Let's play through that. I think he gets this kill. Yep. Okay. So you can definitely say Teemo is winning right now. He has got 2 kills. He's up 25 farm. He's winning. But that's it. We have 1 lane winning. That is just, that's bad. You do not need that in an early game. So right now, our early game just sucked. I'm going to say it sucked. And I would beg to say we have that issue a lot. It didn't help with the early invade. That really sucked. That really started things off. And the Triton here, my little dude, sorry dude. But sorry, I'm brain dead right now. Nobody's lost a turret. Turret's looking pretty even. Yeah, turrets are looking pretty even. So, Dragon's been taken. They're rotating up. That's the early game. There we go. There's early game. Took about 10 minutes to get to mid game, which is really, really late, I feel. But it is lower level. It can take that long to get there. But let's go check out mid game. Here is where we're really gonna feel the effects of that late, of that early game. And it's a 93 advantage here for them. So from here, I want to really see what they're doing. Okay, they're backing. Smart. We're still in lanes. So he's coming up. Gets the wolves. And since he sees Yi up top, he can do that, You saw the mid lane and then just report back. And Yi's up here. There's no reason he can't take that. So, good ward on the blue. Good ward on the blue buff. The block's coming back down. And Shoei here is really going to push this. That's what I love. He has a lead. He knows he can take that lead and just keep running at it. Now, they get rift-tailed. We need to look at that. Because there could have been two kills there. Okay. So he's chasing. He needs to be looking. Yi ran right there. Look how little health he has. If he... Well, he needs to be looking here. Okay. Look how little health he has. Do we have vision on him? Let's check. No, there is... Wow, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. We gotta check out, because I think Vayne came up, and this is what happened. Okay. Vayne starts attacking... Very strange bot lane here. I personally played that really bad. Oh, and there's Master Yi. see, we did not see that Akali there. We didn't see anyone there. There was no vision whatsoever. So what's happening here? They're chasing. They're chasing. He's going to try to flank here. Morgana gets a good hit here. He's going to try to come around that way. They had that warded. There's good vision by them. They really played that smart. And now they're free. They're free to farm that. Yeah, they might be losing a little bit there, but look. There's no way she's losing 15 minions from it. And he's there. That was just a big blunder. Overextending, that's a big issue. Especially when you're behind. You cannot be overextending like that. And that's where they use Rift Herald. I think he meant to ward. I don't think he meant to use Rift Herald. Jump shot. Okay. Big skirmish here. Okay. So, let's jump back. Check out what happened bot lane. We haven't been focused on bot lane so much. Okay. No, we're gonna go back even further. We want to see how we got to that point. Okay. We're chasing. That's okay. Latin Jedi just kind of play her thing. Since I'm Tom Kent, I can just eat him up, you know. I'm okay with an ADC playing a little more aggressive. We're looking. We don't even know he used Rift Herald. But we decided, oh, LeBlanc's there. We can stay and fight this. I called that. That was a terrible call on me. They all could jump out of there. And there's Master Yi. They doing, you know, Rift Herald's here. I get killed. Bada bing, bada boom. Just a bad overextension. Got picked off. We stayed and fought too long, too. There's 4 people bot lane. And the top lane is just chasing. He really could have been hard pushing. So, because she's just as fast, that was pushed up into here. Look. He could have had so much more damage on that if he didn't chase. I mean, she's low health. And look how much damage that mid lane took. So, whoops, that's gonna bug splat. There he goes. I need to stop doing that. Let's get back into the game, and we're going to get back to where we were. We're going to get right back to where they first took, when they just took that turret, because that's the first turret of the game. They got it. That's more gold for them. If you're if you're watching this, you'd say they're snowballing. You know, simple snowball. It's going to keep pushing and pushing. And no Vision. That was a big issue there. Vision was, I think we did bot lane to the best out of the Vision. Good look by mid lane. Look how big that wave is crashing in. Oh, they got all of that. Well played by LeBlanc, getting that, doing LeBlanc things. Now look at that. Turret gone. And for that, they got the dragon because we're dead.
Do you want to save money by renting the latest
Then he comes down bot, which is a very smart move, I'd say. He starts pushing.
games, including the hottest releases and classic games.
Since those two are down there too, there's no need for him up top right now.
1 month free.
I would say we should have rotated top though, because we were the ones having issues. He was the one pushing hard and well. Get Jedi Girl here really farmed up. I think she could have done it well against the Akali. She's farmed, but she's not pushing like the Teemo. She could have just farmed up. Look at this. Look how much farm here. But we're not gonna get on that. There's always a ton of little things. I've nitpicked enough for this game. Really wanted to nitpick the early games. That's our big issue. But Teemo just chases so hard. Look, he took so much damage there because he chased. You can't be chasing like that because now he has. There goes top turret. So at this point, they did a good job of taking that early game and moving. That he especially did a great job of this. He's rotating around, getting objectives. We're down 2 turrets to 1 now, and we're about to lose a third. Well, we're about to get our second as well. So it's going to make us even. However, this is 19-7 lead for them. They're up to almost a 6,000 gold lead. So in that time, in another 8 minutes, they've doubled that gold lead. Because There goes Ramis. That was well played by the LeBlanc in that. And look, they didn't lose anyone. LeBlanc might die here. Yeah, LeBlanc died there. He hit a mushroom. You know, that's a 2-for-1 trade. We can't be making those at this point in the game, especially being so far behind. Okay, look at this wave here. That's just something just ridiculous to be looking at here. That's like 2.5 waves right there. Just bursting down. Look. Nobody's even been up there. They're coming in one at a time. That was the big issue. Thankfully, we do a great job of playing together as a team. If we can group up, we're getting kills. We kind of just stay around a little more. Someone dies here. Yeah, that's what it's showing. He gets rooted. Stand too far in lane. And that's what's going to happen. If you just got out of the team fight like that, and the rest of your team leaves, you need to be leaving too. Because that's how you get picked off. They're going to be coming 3 people there because they just, lost a team fight. They're going to be wanting to come as a team too and take us out. So if you're getting picked off like that, that's because you're out of position. You don't need to be being there. what is it? It's now a 5,000 gold lead. We took that gold lead, and it's now to 2,000 already, just in that little bit of time, because we played as a team and got enough kills. So I would definitely say we're in late game. This is team fight time right now. And let's look at this wave, and we're still here. You know, that's what I'm talking about. We've got 3 people here. He's defending this very well. Yeah, he's defending that. We're still here. We're coming on to this. And they're still trying for that. And look at that. Just because of that. And we get the pick off because they just... Every time it's because he's getting picked off, just like we were doing to them. The times they get him, it's because they have 2 people there, 3 people there. We get that Baron. I died for it, though, you know. I could have left. I really could have left and not any consequences. Would have been fine. I overstayed. I will say that I overstayed. That's one big issue of mine. I do the same thing as that, you know. We all have our issues. I overstayed. I played way too aggressive here. I'm going to, you know, bash myself too here. I overstayed on a lot of these. And that's why I died early game especially. But look, I'm 0-8 right now. We have 0-8 and we have 5-11. Those 2 are just not acceptable. We could have played that a lot better. We get the slow. We get everyone on them, picked off, and we get them. Even wait, we see what they do. Yep, they picked off. There's one. He comes in. Because they came in one by one. And notice whenever like 2 or 3 of them came in, they took some other people out. Because that's just what happens. But when you're going in one at a time, that's when you die. When you are playing overextended, when you are able to get picked off, that is when you die. And we did a really good job there of sticking as a 5-man team. And now look, we are for the first time, because of that team fight, and because we got that Baron, because we stayed together, for the first time, we are ahead in gold. We have more objectives. We have the Baron, which he's still, you know, Leon still here has that buff. So that definitely helped a ton. just going in. He gets taken down. There we go. They ended up, what happened there? I want to explain what happened there. We're going to back up about a minute. We're going to back up even more. Just keep going back. Yep, more. One more. We're going to slow this down. We're going to be stopping a lot. Okay. So, this is okay. Morgana's here. LeBlanc's coming up. I'm going to show you guys what we saw. And what I think we could have worked on. We know they're up. Okay. I'm going to slow this down. So we don't see her till right about there. At this point, we need to be backing. But we stay. Okay. She knows it. She's just standing. He goes to that side. There's LeBlanc. She comes in. And there's Yi. So this is a 3-on-2 at this point. Oh, don't you dare. We're backing. We're backing. We're backing. Triton comes up. Okay. Now see what happens here is Triton's all the way up here. What he needs to be doing is protecting Leon here because he's our damage dealer. Rammus isn't our damage dealer. He is the tank. He needs to be up tanking for the damage dealer. Who needs to be doing damage? So instead, he gets out, which is very smart of him. At this point, he should have run away. However, he's taking turret hits. He's taking turret hits. And because we stayed and tried to get kills instead of backing and being safe, protecting that Baron buff, getting a little greedy, we get put in a bad situation. Okay, now look. He's dead. There is now 1, 2, 3. That was a 3-on-3 that we were already a little low on. And they had just come up. And they were all damage dealers. They got the CC. We needed to back up at that point instead of staying in and dying. That's really what happened. We got a little greedy on this turret. I get that, it just can't be happening now. At this point, I knew I was dead. I'm just going to get a little damage. They heal up. Now there are 5 people grouped. Look where Morgana is, okay? She takes the comment. She's getting hit by those. She's just walking through this. That gets her killed because of that. Now, next to get picked off. At this point, it is a 2v2. And we're going to win that 2v2 because we're up. We were up in gold at that point. She's going to be up in items. That's our damage dealers. Now we got an ace, okay? We got 2 people. Because she farmed an okay amount. She definitely could have done better mid-game and early game. But because we got those objectives, she can get more gold. Between that and the team, incredible Teemo build here. Teemo did so much damage because he farmed up. He got, and he was able to, get gold, which gets him items, which makes him more powerful for these team fights.
Save money and try games for free. Start GameFly today.
Now, really smart move here by Triton. Comes down. Because look how fast that thing's going. He really hurries over there. I like that. Jedi here, I think, yeah, she needs to back.
You can never start learning too early. That's why starting today,
I think it's better than just standing around doing nothing. That was a big issue. You can't just stand around and do nothing. But, you know, she did her job. I'm not going to complain.
State Farm, here to help life go right.
And because of that, we chased too hard and we died for it. Getting picked off, getting team fought down. Strength in numbers. Okay. Look at this wave. That's a big wave that LeBlanc's going to be able to get. How smart on her to get. We have 2 low turrets. They have this low turret and that low turret. That turret's gone. We're only up 1 turret, which gave us a 1,000 gold lead. You know? And that's because we got that Baron, too. Yeah, we're calling for this Teemo. I mean, it's not Teemo. For the Baron. We're coming in here. Getting our jungler in here. And we're like, okay. We're going to get this. Call for Baron. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to bring our... I'm going to tank for it. I'm going to, Triton's going to tank. We're going to get some damage dealers here. I'm going to keep some CC going. Let them keep doing that. And we collapse on them. There's only 2 there. 3 at the most. Yeah. And because of that, we were able to turn on him. We keep people going for this Baron. We can get this Baron. We ace him out. We get the Baron for it. Because we played as a group. We were getting picks. And that's what's going to win games. Is if you can stay together, you're going to be able to win. You're going to be able to. If you can pick people off, you're going to win a 5v1. I don't care. You could be a love. It could be a 20 gold. 20 CS difference. A level up. You're going to win a 5v1. And we get picked off because one person overextends, or someone else tries to save them. They get picked off too, and someone else tries to save them. We get picked off too. That's going to happen. A good split push here by Triton. Since all these waves are pushed up, that's when we can get objectives, because we've got all the waves pushed up. Nothing they can really do. So we come up here. We three-man. This is so low. We get it down. Smart call. They're going to try to flank us. But at this point, we're 3,000 gold ahead. They didn't play this together at all. They literally just get bursted because they didn't play as a team. Now, Steve, because we know we have to be getting these picks in order to get kills, scaring them all off. Because they played as a team, they were able to get a couple kills there. However, we played as a team too, and we pretty much came out on top on that, and getting picked again, and that should be the game. Yes. So, what we want to talk about here, that was a great comeback. Early game could have gone a lot better because, let's bring up the stats for that. I want to check the gold lead, okay? We're going to look at this gold lead. Really, when we started grouping up, realized, okay, we've got a couple people that are getting their items now, and they're playing very spread. We're going to pick them off, and that's how we're going to win, is picking people off, staying as a group, and winning these fights. So, we're going to get an overview. Look at this, okay? Gold team advantage. Look at this. It was just there. We didn't get a gold lead advantage until well over halfway through this game. And even there, they had the gold advantage. It was a slight one, but by that point, we had an idea of what we were doing, and we just skyrocketed from there. I mean, as you can see, early game, they dominated us. I would say, right there, I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. We get 6 kills right there. And a turret because they were just picking them off. That was beautifully played. $772. We brought back we brought back 4,000 gold in 5 minutes because we started grouping, we started, thinking objectively, and people started getting to a point we played in the late game, we group fought and got picks, and that's what won us the game. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. 2-hour long thing here. I know it's really long, just one game, but this is what I'm saying. We can really do this. And we don't have things to work on, but there's definitely some positives here. We really did well in that game. And yeah, so peace.